New resources to keep you secure, clandestine cyber incursions, and smartphone sales plummet. Hi, I'm Sasha, and welcome to another edition of Security Weekly, where I bring you the news stories from around the world dealing with cybersecurity and tech. I hope you're chilling or running just as long as you're comfy. So let's get started with this week's stories. As cyber attacks and data breaches become ever more present, the public has become more aware. Be they insiders or outsiders, the attackers or the attack vectors will likely never stop. Of course, no organization, whether large or small, is immune to a data breach. So it's best to be prepared, vigilant, and informed. One way is to get access to an excellent source of info in cybersecurity is the newly released Verizon Data Breach Report 2019. The report is comprehensive and offers the latest perspectives on threats organizations face from various industries. So the report is built on data from 41,600 security incidents and over 2,000 data breaches provided by 173 sources, both public and private, and from across 86 countries. Some key takeaways are that nearly 70% of cyber attacks are perpetrated by outsiders, and 345 of these attacks involve internal staff. One worrying new trend is the focus on the C-suite, those with the most access to a company's sensitive data, so go check it out. Another demonstration of how cyber has really shifted into a new realm of our lives is national security and geopolitics. So the US Cyber Command has made multiple incursions into Russia's electrical grid in the past few months. So that's according to a report by the New York Times. So officials in the report state that the strategy and tactics of these incursions appear to be far more hostile and aggressive than they would have been a few years ago. So, though there seems to not be a sign yet that any actual attacks have been launched by the US, which is a good thing, it seems to be a kind of probing of Russia's cyber defenses, and given the current not-so-rosy relations between the West and Russia, it's no surprise that cyber has now also come into play in this new superpower tussle. What's interesting here is that the US seems to want to flex its muscle, just as it would very overtly with military hardware like troops or aircraft. So the policy seems to be a kind of a digital cyber deterrence to avoid any potential attacks by demonstrating key cyber activity and critical infrastructure, as in this case, in the Russian electrical grid. Naturally, this will see a counter move by Russia, I'm sure, and what kind of precedent does it set for other nations aiming to deter others? But the line will be blurry and probing could easily be mistaken for an attack or hack. So what then? Could deterrence actually trigger a premature counterattack? The entire strategy is fraught with risk and could escalate quickly. Trouble on all fronts for the Chinese telco and electronics giant. It's recently cancelled a laptop launch and is set to delay its foldable smartphone. And no one knows really for how long. Huawei has experienced only negative press in the past months. And as we've covered the unfolding drama here for you, you'll recall Huawei is under constant pressure from the US and other Western countries due to its controversial links and 5G. It's no surprise then that this, as well as the US export ban, has absolutely devastated its sales, as consumer confidence is ebbing away. According to a Bloomberg report, Huawei will see a 40 to 60% drop in its international smartphone shipments. So to give you a bit of insight, the company sells half of its smartphones abroad, and given their sales numbers from last year, that means over 206 million phones sold. So with the aftermath of the ban, that could be over 40 to 60 million sales units that are lost. Ouch. Furthermore, with so much confusion, mistrust, and bad PR, would any informed consumer even consider a Huawei device anymore? That's the big question. And to pour salt into the wound, without the US ban being lifted, Huawei can't buy any components it needs either from the US or from foreign vendors using US technology. So in the months leading up to the ban, the company even stockpiled components, but once that dries up, what will happen then? Tough times indeed. Those are the stories, folks. I hope you enjoyed our episode. We put a lot of effort into our fantastical awesomeness. So why not help us out? Share this with your friends and colleagues. Go ahead, they'll love you for it. So who doesn't want the latest cyber news, right? Okay, so as ever, thanks for watching, guys, and stay safe.